Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're doing a request from a subscriber, I guess. I hope you subscribed. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he said he's a
But
subscription.
yeah, so we're doing the gate. Um everybody I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, but I feel like everybody's seen this, but nobody remembers this.
Right.
So, and it also has a insane parallel to another movie that's not quite the same, but like the setup is the same. I'll get into that
Hmm.
later. Um, but Jerry, what do you grade this one?
Give it an A plus.
A plus?
Love this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a B plus.
Why? Because you hate it?
No, no, that would be like a lower grade
It's okay.
if I
I
hated it.
mean, if
Um,
you hate it,
okay. All right,
No.
cool. Somebody's coming out of the box just like me. But yeah,
So what did you hate about this movie? No, 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 no,
it
no. Fucking, all right.
it was it, like well, I hated that the little boy called that dude a F word, like, and then ran upstairs. Like that was I was so caught off guard over that because
It was the
I
80s,
was
man.
yeah,
Fucking,
but
it
what
was
like when
crazy
yeah, that's what I
times
mean.
and
Like when
shit.
I
Fucking
was
cocaine, dude.
right,
Fucking,
right, yeah. But
you
like
know.
when I was younger, that I didn't think twice about that. Like I didn't like that word was just a word. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it didn't hold any weight back then, or not to me. So, but when he said it this time, I was like, wait, did he just?
Use the F sharp, man.
And I like rewound it. I'm like, holy shit! All right, cool. Um, Same thing when I was watching Erie, Indiana recently. They had a episode about this band called the Pitbull Surfers, which is an allude to the Butthole Surfers, and the kid goes, "Yeah, man, I don't know, I don't really like them because of all that Nazi stuff." And I was just like, "Wait, what? Why are we doing this?" And he's like, "Obviously, this movie's not a kid movie, but." By today's standards, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, sidetrack, sidebar, sorry.
Right.
But yeah, so I didn't I didn't have any problem with it, but it just felt like even the climax wasn't climactic. Like that's all. Like it was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun watching it. It was fun to
Right.
revisit this movie. But in those moments where it was like it was just very like, yeah, okay. Like my daughter was laughing, you know, my 8-year-old daughter was laughing. So, obviously, again, the argument of like, well, back then, I understand. I'm a big proponent of back then. It was different. It was scary then, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it didn't hit like that. Even when I was a little kid and I watched it, it didn't hit like that. It always hit silly, not scary. So, as far as a horror movie goes, I gotta give it like a B plus just because it's a lot of fun to watch. Tell me why I am wrong though,
Well, I don't know why you are wrong, but
or how
uh,
I'm wrong. Tell me
how
why.
you are wrong.
Yeah, just tell
I
me
am,
why you
um,
love it.
because like I have like stages with this movie through life. Like when I was real little, I happened to catch this on like I guess television or something, but I was real young.
Yeah.
Or it was like because I remember bits and pieces of like this and that, the
Mm.
dog and
Right.
this and that, but I remember it like kind of freaking me out. Like I was, kind of young.
Mhm.
And then it wasn't for like like, when I finally got into horror movies, it was like, oh wow, the gate, and then like you kind of get those flashbacks, and it was just like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. The I thought that was just like, a random thing on television. But I would say like everybody puts like Stranger Things. Okay, we'll start with Stranger Things because of the it's easy to compare to. But I say this has more to do with Stranger Things than like the Goonies or, other 80s properties at the time. It feels more from like a kid's perspective, like a horror movie from a kid's perspective.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
this isn't like Billy Peltzer and Gremlins, and
Right.
this isn't like, like the Goonies that has a good kid perspective of like adventure.
Right.
This has a
Right.
good kid's perspective on horror, but you
Right.
don't want to do like, chainsaw wielding, hockey masked, murderer. You do demons or little imps, like, and oh yeah, I have the Book of the Dead on a heavy metal album, which I
Who
fucking
doesn't,
love.
you know?
Yeah.
Um,
This band just has like the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon on in their record album.
all right. So when you said Stranger Things, I wasn't sure how you were going to correlate the two, and I'm not sure that you ever did. But I think that that is a very good title for this movie because nothing was like The Gate is also a very good title for it, don't get
Right.
me wrong. But Stranger Things, because the things are just weird. Like, you know, it's not one thing that's
Right.
happening to these
The
kids.
moths,
It's
the bug
several
zappers.
different, yeah, it's several different things that are happening. Like the little demons, the big demon, the
Yeah.
parents, the dog. It's like there's always something new that's happening.
Right.
So that to me like feels very Stranger Things-esque. But the movie that I correlated it with, and I think I might have already told you off air, um, is Psycho Gorman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to watch this. I went to watch The Gate with my daughter. I was like, yeah, this is fine. And then I was like, yeah, they dig up the shit. And I was like running through it in my mind to make sure that there was nothing that she couldn't see.
Mhm.
And like they dig up the thing from the ground. Okay, all right, cool. And then, that happens. And I was like, that's an awful lot like Psycho Gorman. Let's just watch Psycho Gorman. So we watched Psycho Gorman first, and then we watched The Gate like a couple days later.
Right.
But the first half of the movie is kind of the same. If you just replace the little girl with the neighbor, it's these
Right.
two kids. There's a hole in the ground for whatever reason. Now they dig the hole, they pull out this stone. This stone has power. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of, it
Right.
just flows one with the other. But uh I think that this movie did a really good job, like you said, is kind of pointing it towards from like a kid's perspective. When you add kids in horror movies, you get two different things. You either get super duper creepy
Hmm.
or like more fun, like Goonies-esque. And that's how this one feels. It's more adventure scary
Right.
versus like was it Happy Birthday to You or something with the
Yeah.
or bloody birthday, my bloody birthday or something with the little kids that are born on like a special moon or
Oh
something, like
yeah,
right.
yeah, the one
And then they
that yeah.
just like the little blonde girl that just has that piercing stare that's like killing everybody. Like that, you get that or this. You
Right.
know what I mean? So like they did a good job. By today's standards, I would almost throw this in Hallmark horror
I
because
could see that.
it's more fun. It's more along Gremlins
Or John
lines.
Hughes horror,
Right, right.
where
Uh
there's an adventure quality
exactly,
because
yeah.
there's nothing like horribly terrifying with what
Right,
happens,
right, right. The
or
dog,
there's
but
the dog and then
momentarily, obviously.
the old man that's a zombie and shit and but I think the the best correlation of a move of what this movie is when the little kid gets scared and he says, "I want to call mom and dad." Like after they do the floating thing and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I want to call mom and dad. And that is like, yeah, like because they're not here and all this strange stuff is happening,
yeah.
like they'll fix it. They'll fix this thing.
Right,
And it's
right.
just like, no, they won't fix it.
Yeah.
Fucking these
And
are
then when
demons,
you
you know.
see mom and dad later,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
super not going to fix anything.
Right.
Um, in fact, I think the dad says that he hates the kid. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, and another thing, like the friends, the sisters' friends,
Yeah.
like God, what shitty people they are.
Yeah,
Like,
there were 80s girls and shit. Fucking
yeah, I
the
guess
one
they had
friend.
something about Mary hair. Like,
Yeah.
why are you did that on purpose?
Yeah, the one with the short hair. Like not the one that's got the
Yeah.
thing tied up, but the one with the short hair, that's the mom on Eastbound and Down.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
And she also is in a episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Uh-huh.
The one where the girl puts the glasses on and then she ends up in 1969 and shit.
Mm.
Or
Yes.
no, the pendant or whatever. Fucking, I can't remember, but it's been a while since I've seen Are You Afraid of the Dark? But which makes me want to. I don't know for sure, but I would like to know if is this a Canadian venture? Is this movie made in Canada? Because those houses look very Canadian to me, like in their subdivisions. Like I don't know. I've seen
I don't
like
know. I got a very poltergeist feel from
yeah,
them, like
maybe
that type of subdivision, just
yeah.
California,
Those style
80s, like
subdivisions scare the shit out of me for some weird reason.
they're oddly creepy but also alluring to me. Because again, I go right back to the poltergeist thing. Or,
Yeah,
you could even go as far as like ginger snaps if you wanted to go actual Canadian
right.
neighborhoods where it's every house is different, but it's all the same.
Yeah, they're kind of
And
modeled the
it's like,
same, you know.
yeah, yeah. It's creepy. It's a creepy factor.
Yeah,
And same thing with like Breaking Bad. When you see, Walter in and out of his neighborhood, everything's just like this like same stucco like style home. It's creepy,
right.
but like if you like it's very Nightmare on Elm Street feel to it.
Hmm.
Like if you ended up there by yourself and that town was like deserted or that neighborhood was deserted, it'd
Yeah,
be the scariest thing in the world, especially at night.
yeah.
Because there's just nobody around. Everything looks the same. It's disorienting.
Hmm.
But
It
luckily
has that
here there's
uncanny valley value of
right.
like this is normal what I'm seeing, but for some reason what I'm seeing it makes me uncomfortable. Like the back rooms,
Yeah,
like that image
exactly.
of the back
Yes,
rooms
exactly. Yes.
where it's just a normal room with like really shitty lighting and wallpaper that's same color as the floor kind of deal. But
Right.
there's something off about it.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about the neighborhood in this movie, where it
Yeah.
was like there's just something about it where it's just like I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, like no tree was big. Like there's no like trees that are
Right.
nice and big in that neighborhood. They're all like kind of like recently planted
Well,
trees.
the only one there was, they dug it up.
They dug it up. Yeah, but there's not like like where in my
I think
neighborhood there's like a forest section.
right. Yeah, I think well, I was going to say I think with like where we've grown up and in the state that we've grown up, no matter which direction you look in the distance there are trees and big ones.
Right.
And then you go to some place where there's nothing in the skyline.
Yeah.
And that's very odd because, here there's trees, there's hills, there's something. There again, it's just flat and it's plain and
Yeah,
it's weird.
and they're like, yeah, there's just like maybe because it is all ground level. Like, some neighborhoods like you can see like, oh, like my house is up here and I don't
Yeah,
know. And plus we don't get to see like a lot of it. There's like a
right.
couple of shots in the neighborhood where like, oh, we can see like when they're driving out and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It also looks very, very hot there. And again, I think that's because there is no trees, there is no like hill, there's no coverage of anything.
yeah,
There's not even really like bushes or anything for the
right.
most part. There's
I can
there's a little
remember,
bit
yeah.
at the end, there's like a bush that falls in front of the door kind of thing, but um it also just looks hot. Like,
Right.
dead of summer when you look outside and it's just this haze and you're just like, ugh. That's
Right.
what this movie made me feel. Every outside scene was just like, ugh, that's miserable. It's miserable. And I couldn't quite put a finger on it, but I think that that's just like those combination of things is what really got me.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we moved there to like okay, so the neighbor kid, I can't remember his name, the little
Yeah, the
redheaded kid.
glasses.
Yeah, glasses. Oh man. He does like such a great like that's what Bobby Budnick like that's Bobby Budnick in like middle school and shit. Fucking like he looks cool, but you know, his
Who?
demeanor is kind of like scared. He's not really Bobby Budnick. I just
No, but who? My brain is drawing a blank on
the
who that
redheaded
is.
kid, the friend, the neighbor
Who is Bobby Budnick?
from Salute Your Shorts.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Like, you know,
It's been forever since I've seen that. Like, it would have
80s
came
and
to me eventually, but yeah.
80s and
The
90s. Yeah, I'm
kid
just throwing
from
out the
Terminator
references.
2?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. The best friend from Terminator
Yeah,
2
the
doesn't
kid
even have a
that
name
saved
in
the
it.
world
Yeah,
by lying to the cops,
yeah.
instinctively. Yes. That would have been a little bit closer to me recognizing him. But
Right.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he has that like this would be
Radical.
cool.
He's fucking radical.
Yeah,
That's what he
he's
is.
cool if he was cool. It'd be
Yeah.
cool if he was cool. Like even like, you
His
put the most fly outfit on a dork, it's still
there you go. That's
he
what it is.
yeah,
Like
yeah, he's still a dork.
like
But,
he's a kid in the neighborhood back in the 80s who first learns about Metallica.
right, right.
While everybody else is still playing like Winger
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
talking about Judas Priest. He's the one that sits there and is like, you ever heard Mayhem or
Yeah,
something? It's just
yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
did this come from, dude? You
Yeah.
know. But God, and I especially love when he's got the record on, and now comes the part where like the satanic sermon is getting
Yeah.
played, and he throws that rainbow cloak, the bed sheet over to be his cloak,
Yeah.
and he starts doing like the procession or whatever you
Uh-huh.
would call it. And I was just like, this is cool as shit. This is the reason that moms and dads in the 80s were all like, my kid's a Satanist. And it's like, have you ever watched them do that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't look Satanist to me. It looked kind of weird, but
Um
it's awesome.
one of my things, and I know that, movies like this is not the only one to do it, but movies like this are a victim of their time
Of course.
because there was nothing else to do it with. But or you had to like really scour to find it. But the music that they always go, that's satanic,
Yeah.
is just like Motley Crue.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. Sorry.
It's
That's
just
not
like some
heavy. That's
generic.
not hard. That's not like I get what you're doing, but that's not no, that's not it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's just but I always find it funny in these old movies where they're just like, yeah, it's super satanic. It
Yeah.
is. It's called Def Leppard. And it's like, no, dude,
No, it's
no,
not
it's
not at
Twisted
all.
Sister. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
um,
But
like,
I do love that because it plays on that like of its time.
right. Yeah. And
Like
it does
what
have that
is,
quality that's very
the
charming.
satanic,
Right.
and I love how like when he's describing the band, he's like, this was their last album before they all died in a plane crash. And it's
Right.
just like, whoa, like
Yeah.
it's
That's
just
more metal
radical
than
as
the
shit.
actual music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, like, what movie was it where Kiss was like the satanic music? Somebody was listening to like Kiss. They were like, oh, you can't listen. Oh, never
Well,
mind. That was that
Detroit Rock
70s show.
City,
That
fucking.
70s show. He had a
Oh,
Kiss
okay.
record
Yeah,
inside
that
like a
too.
John Diver record or something like that.
Right.
But yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I it's funny for me to see it, but yeah, you are 100% right. It is also hilarious because it is a product of its time.
Yeah.
And there is something that's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Along with like the best friend's like makeover hairdo,
yeah,
thing and like uh well, obviously the rocket that they have.
Yeah.
That's not a product of its time because they still make those. But
Yeah.
um, I would even go like the bug zapper felt kind of like because I don't see very many bug zappers now. Those blue like
I have one outside.
green. Okay, well, I guess
But
that wouldn't be a
uh,
product then.
I mean, everybody had those.
Yeah,
Like when we grew up, there was not a porch, there was not a deck, there was not a front stoop that
right.
didn't have one of those hanging. That was like,
They were creepy as shit when I was a kid.
oh God, dude, they
Like,
use it. And if like you get a bug in there and it's like a little something like a gnat or whatever, like, and it'd be like pop. But then you get like a fly, like a big fat juicy fly in there, and you're like,
big
what
old
the
moth.
shit, dude?
And
They're
it's like,
shooting at us. Like, yeah.
yeah. Like that. I remember when I was a kid, there was one, the neighbors had it like right across the street. And when the porch light came on, so did that. And that thing, you would sit out on your porch and just listen to it. And it was like, because we're out in the middle of the woods
Right.
and it would just be like popping all night. And you'd hear that hum.
Mhm.
It's like but making something scary that's just like that,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I I like in the movie I didn't pay much attention to it, but as I'm like, I look at now that you've mentioned it, I look back on it. Just those things in general in movies, like that specific type of bug zapper in movies,
Right.
is usually associated with something negative. Like
Hmm.
in this movie, it's fairly harmless. It's, kind of innocent thing. It's like a little what's to come kind of thing. But like you think about it, like a lot of times it's in like a swampy, like woodsy area. Somebody's like
This is the
coming up
neighbors.
to
Mm.
right. But like it's like the person in the movies like coming up to like a house that they're unsure of, or
Right.
like, and it always has this like eerie style of like, I don't know, setting along
Hmm.
with it. So that that's an interesting thought that is going to go nowhere. Tell me what your favorite like version of the monsters were in this movie. Like what
Oh,
what scare tactic did you enjoy the most?
okay. I like it the most. Okay, let me set it up. But it's when I forget, is it the hand? I think it's the hand. Whatever like they throw it on the ground and then it turns into the little imps and they're all running around.
Mm,
That is forced perspective and it looks amazing.
it is. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah, because like even like some of the way the imps look, you can tell like, oh, these people are on a platform that's raised up, a little bit further away from the camera to make them look larger, and these people are reverse, to make them look larger, to make it look
Yeah.
smaller. But like the every time you would see those imps running around, they looked really good. Like none of them looked like janky, like like where they would just have like one on a stick or something,
Mm,
kind of like you know, like
yeah.
running like Kermit the Frog or something.
Yeah.
Like they all had like this really distinctive like movement to them.
Mhm.
Like kind of
Well,
like how like stop go animation looks, but like more cleaner and crisp.
yeah, I mean, they're obviously just people in suits, and then they composite that shot from a distance
Right.
into this shot of, the foreground where these people are.
Hmm.
Um, but you're right, they did a really, really good job at it, and it looks good, and
Yeah.
it feels pretty real. And there was a couple scenes where like one of them was like grabbing at like the leg of one of the kids, like in the jeans, like grabbing
Yeah.
the jeans. And I was like, I wonder how they did that one. Cause that just doesn't it like I understand you set your camera up, you film these dudes in suits from far away, running around, whatever,
Hmm.
and then you put it on, this screen. Um, but then when they're interacting with things that are like way bigger than them, but they're like tugging on it, and I
Hmm.
was just very like, damn, I want to send that to the corridor crew and see what they say of
Yeah.
how they did that because that's
There's a couple
really,
of
really
behind the
good.
scenes that you can find on YouTube that
Oh yeah.
explains how they did some. Like I know like the big thing, that's all like claymation.
Mhm.
Um and it looked fine. Like it I don't like the one
Right.
thing that I can complain about, I guess on this movie is I wish they would have like airbrushed them cleaner because they do look like, just like a blank color. Like I wish
Yeah.
they would have had like more like airbrushed like
Detail.
spots or
Yeah.
whatever, maybe grime or
Just
it look
shadows in the
yeah,
folds or like,
right, because they did have like kind of like matte look to it. And did it ruin my movie watching experience with them? No, because it's still
Are you talking about
because
the little guys? Because I thought they did a pretty good job. The big guy, I agree with, though.
like both of them, I see like what they look like, and I just wish there was like more
Yeah, no,
like
I
color.
get it. Yeah.
So I mean, like,
The little guys, I think they did. Okay, let me rephrase. The little guys, I think they did a better job at than
okay,
the big guy. But yeah,
right.
you're right. They are all just kind of one tone. I just remember there being some sort of like texture, what towards their like back.
Maybe I'm crossing
Um,
the streams.
I mean, you're probably not, but I just remember some sort of like texture, or maybe just in the suit there was like ridges or something that allowed some sort of like discoloration
Right.
around them. But yeah, you're right. But again, it could be a budget thing. It could be they might have wanted them that way. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, yeah, some of them have like kind of just like a plain color, plain like look to them.
Right.
Some of them do look, really nice, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Uh, no, I saw the packaging for the movie.
Ah,
It's a really nice cover. It's like art and it's nice.
I got excited when um when this was requested because I was thinking Beyond the Gate.
Oh, the
Um,
VHS.
yeah, game
It's not
one.
is it? It's not a found footage, right?
No, it's like the brothers own their dad owned like a video store and he died and they go to the video store and
Yeah,
it's a game
yeah,
and but like I got excited because I thought that that was this one and then I was like, oh wait, no, it's this one. All right, cool.
yeah.
uh
It's yeah, the
yeah.
80s one. I mean, like influential,
um I think, yeah, I think that this
like an
is
in-between
obviously,
horror.
yeah, I think for people who saw it when they were younger, this is very nostalgic. It's very pleasing to them.
Hmm.
I think that this works well as like a kid like mine that wants horror for whatever reason.
Yeah,
This works well as something to introduce them to it. And I think that um overall it's just a fun, and again, I don't want to call Hallmark horror or John Hughes horror necessarily, but it does have a light
it does
feeling to
have
it. There's
like
no
Hughes horror,
and I
definitely.
don't know if it's intentional, but it never has like tense moments. Like I'm sure that they tried to set tense moments up,
Right.
but it just never felt like it. Like in Hereditary, when the mom's going off on the boy,
Yeah,
that feels intense.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I can, yeah,
the most intense moment is still just kind of like, oh, like it just has this very light
yeah. But
feeling
it
to
also
it.
has like moments like where the kid's trying to go to bed and he hears like stuff outside, like
Right,
the button, and like yeah, it's like oh yeah, I remember that as a kid, like trying to go to sleep, and it's like what's that noise outside,
right.
And I think that's where like it really triumphs. Where yeah, it may not have like those real intense moments, but like just simple things
Right.
that would freak me the hell out. Like oh, the mom and dad aren't home and the power's out,
Yeah.
and that house in general, like the layout of it is a horror
I
trap.
It felt very, you know what it felt like was because I even started to wonder if it was the same house. There's a point in it where the kid comes in the front door, the neighbor kid, I think, or maybe the kid that lives there. But it felt very Saturday the 14th mixed with the Burbs, like just like
Yeah,
the more or less the layout of the Burbs, but that like old style home that just was made weird, like very product of its time
yeah,
in the 70s, 80s, like Saturday the 14th, just like the big open area when you walk in. It's like you just it's like kind of a living room, but nobody sits in it.
right. It's
Like when
just
you think of like Full House, like that when you walk in the door, there's a big ass area, and it's like there's nothing really dedicated here.
right. It's
Like
for the
there's a couch.
downstairs. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is just where we entertain,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
or and then like the kitchen, and then they have the basement, and
But there's
that's
like two stairs down from the front. Like when you walk in, it's like two stairs.
right.
And then on the other side of the room, you have to go up two stairs to go to the kitchen, or like two stairs to go to the stairs to
Yeah.
go upstairs. It's like, that like, it's just that weird layout that just is it's very stuck in time
Fucking
to
cocaine,
me.
man. It was a
Yeah,
hell
I
of a
mean,
drug back
it
in the
was, it
80s.
was.
They're designing shit and they're not even realizing.
Hey man,
Yeah,
they gave us conversation
I
pits.
want
I
to
think those should make a comeback. So
I want a platform at the foyer of the door,
yeah,
but you just put your shoes and then you have to walk down two stairs
yeah.
and then you go to the kitchen and then you have to walk up two stairs and it's
Yeah.
like, why do you want this whole section to be this much
It really
deeper?
is like you walk in and it's like an octagon
Yeah,
that is like in the middle of the living room or like middle of the entranceway, and like it's two stairs down all the way around it.
yeah.
It's like octagon. So like the stairs are on one side, but you have to go up them two stairs to get to it. The kitchen's back here, you have to go up two stairs to get to it. Like it's just like this very like two stair deep, like it's dug in two stairs deep
Yeah.
in the middle of the room for some reason. But also, there's something about that I like because it feels like that time period to me.
Right, right.
So, like I
Maybe
said,
that's a
I like the
Canadian thing.
idea
Hey, our Canadian fans, tell us, do they do that? So like that's a cold
to
well?
assume we have any
Like
fans is
yeah,
silly of
yeah.
you,
Well,
but
hey, you never
okay.
know. But yeah, maybe it's because when they open the door in Canada, it's really cold up there, and like the cold just kind of like sinks in there and
Mhm.
shit, and
Yeah,
cold air.
almost certainly.
Yeah, I think that's the Canadian '80s were like cold wells and shit. Fucking
I guarantee that house is in California.
probably it probably
I'm
is.
Googling it
I
now.
don't know why I think it's Canadian, other than that one actress. But like, and it's like, oh yeah, that actress never traveled outside of Canada or something, But like, I just see Canada for some weird reason.
Huh. Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I would say, yeah, yeah, it's fucking Canadian.
Yeah, you're right.
Hell yeah, fucking like I knew it from those goddamn subdivisions.
I'm looking at the street view of that house specifically.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, and they got trees growing in there. Yeah, so
That's the
basically,
trees that were in the way at the end of the movie.
well, yeah, but
But
I
not, yeah, in
was
the backyard. No, yeah, those weren't
the
there.
yeah, the one got cut down, but like
God
I think
damn. Oh, wait, sorry,
what
we're still filming.
yeah, what happened was that neighborhood when they filmed there, that must have been like a new neighborhood. You know how like when a crew comes in and they like log the whole area and
Yeah.
then like to sell the house, it's like, oh, they put new trees up and like, yeah,
Um, yeah. Look at this though. So that house that I just showed you,
right.
um, look at the neighbor's house.
Damn.
Way nicer. Like they got the Rambler on the street. Sorry kids, that sucks.
Yeah.
and the one house is blurred out. So you know that's a good house
Yeah.
because you're not even allowed to look at it
Yeah. Fucking,
on
they
Street
don't,
View.
they don't allow it. Not allowed. But in that case, Jacob,
Yeah.
hey, would you go see this in the theater?
Yeah, I probably would. I'd have
I
to
think
catch
I
it on
would.
matinee because I don't want to pay full price for it. But yeah, it'd be fun.
I think, yeah, if it popped up on like its like 30th anniversary and whatnot, just to,
Yeah, you better be careful when you say shit like that because I might hit you up and be like, "Hey, the
okay,
gate's
yeah,
in
sure,
theater."
sure.
You'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, all
double
right,
dare
yeah,
you. Triple dog
yeah,
dare. Yeah.
yeah, yeah."
Fucking, would you own a physical copy of this movie? Do you?
I don't. Um, yeah, I mean, I would have it on DVD. Like, yeah,
I think so too. I know it's always been like one of those like, oh, I wish I had this movie, you know. Um, when it was brought up, I was like, shit, you know, God, I still wish I had that movie. But it, like, I could probably go past this like four times and just be like, I got something better in plan right now to
yeah,
buy.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I would definitely like to. Is this a cult classic, Jacob?
That's a really good question. Maybe. I think that this one is so like again, a lot of people know about it, but a lot of people don't remember it in detail.
Hmm.
So I would just have to say that's an opinionated question to each individual person. Um, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes,
Yeah, okay.
just because I want to be difficult. No, I'm gonna say yes because yeah, once more, like I think a good amount of people know about this movie,
Right, right,
but not a lot of people are like really like hyped about it. You know, this
right,
isn't a
right,
Freddy, this isn't what do you call it? Goddamn Gremlins. Like, you know, it's not like that.
right.
It's something different, and a lot of people just don't talk about it. And
Yeah,
I see the people that do talk about it, it's like a classic, but a
yeah.
cult classic for them. So,
Well, good job.
yeah. Would you recommend this movie to people, Jacob?
I think that again, for me, if you haven't seen it, I would say, yeah, go watch it. But the big thing for me is like if somebody was like, I'm trying to get my kid into horror, you got anything?
That's yeah,
I would be like, yeah, this one's perfect.
yeah. Hey, I watch horror movies, and my kids always like, I want to watch horror movies, and I don't know what to show them other
Right.
than like Hocus Pocus and
Yeah.
you know things
Got
like
this
it.
perfect
It's like,
movie
oh
called
yeah,
The
well, the
Gate.
Gate, and you know,
Yeah.
like you know, Cannibal Holocaust, and
Yeah,
you
right,
know,
exactly. Terrifier, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The kid movies.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
So I think that's the best recommendation. Or if someone's trying to find something completely off the wall, but yet still has a mainstream kind of feel to it,
yeah,
you know, like something from left field, but still is mainstream. I think this is a perfect style movie for that. You know, it's not like completely underground and kind of like